really love to talk about trust and the power of trust.
We want to put in the word, in the conversation about the concept of trust, we want to put the word knowing, also the word clarity, because what absolute trust is no monkey business in your vibration, so that there is only alignment to who you really are. So you stand in utter clarity and utter knowing. And the only way that we know to bring any of our, excuse the bulky terminology, physical friends into utter trust is by helping you to realize that you can be more unconditional. In other words, as you are observing your reality or the conditions of your reality, sometimes that observation produces within you a vibration that causes a split between you and you, and then you don't feel trust, you don't feel sure, you don't feel clarity, you don't feel knowing. So it's important to close that gap so you can feel trust, so you can feel clarity. But if all you're looking at is the current reality, if you're looking at the circumstances, if you're looking at the conditions, then you're likely not going to find it. And so that's why we're talking more and more about reaching for the emotion, which is less conditional. Now, by your wise acknowledgement, an emotion certainly is a physical manifestation. You can feel it, it's real, but it's less physical than the car in the garage. And so we're talking about degrees of vibration. We're really talking about turning those thoughts to things. So feel with us how through the living of life there is this vibrational reality, and let's call it source. Let's call it source that is resourcing all that is. Let's call it the energy that creates worlds, this stream of consciousness that is flowing. And so here you are having some relationship with that. And let's say, for whatever reason, you are in a high-flying, good-feeling place. Maybe you meditated, so you just stopped resistance and your vibration raised. Maybe you got on a rampage of appreciation so that you deliberately tuned your vibrational frequency into a high place. But in any event, you're right there in that high-flying place. So here is this source energy offering this knowing, and you're standing in an attitude of trust about it because you're not doing that thing that you do that keeps you from feeling that. So now you begin to receive in a real way, which now you want to call physical. You want to start translating that vibration into something tangible, and the first thing you translate it into is a thought, an idea that is followed immediately by emotion, which is even more physical. And if you stay there, if you're able to maintain it, then that vibrational frequency that you have now accepted, you own it, you've practiced it, now it's turning into impulses, which certainly are more physical, and more ideas and more rendezvous and more of everything, until eventually, and not very long it doesn't take, you have a full-blown manifestation, and people around you are saying, where'd that come from? And you say, from non-physical. And they say, but how can anything be non-physical? How can something come out of nothing? And that's really the point you're making. It can't come out of nothing. It's coming out of something less tangible, less tangible, less tangible, less tangible. But just because it's less tangible doesn't mean that it's less recognizable. And that's really the point of all of this. We're wanting to make you aware of your own guidance system so that you can feel the realness of that vibrational reality, so that you can feel, so that you can trust, so that you can know the realness of it. And when you do, it's going to come out where not only you, but everybody else can see it too. That's why you all came. You said, I want to be on the leading edge, where the thoughts are turning to things, where the non-physical is becoming physical, where the vibration becomes tangible, where I can feel it, so that I can guide it and hone it and focus it, mold it, and create it.
When trust is called for, isn't it always when both knowing and unknowing are occurring simultaneously, and there is fear about the unknowing? Isn't trust always called for in the face of unknowing?
Every subject is really two subjects. wanted and unwanted. That vibrational frequency exists on everything.
Okay,
and
I
so,
have a very specific example. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and so of course that must always be true.